Happy Friendship Sunday. So if you are here with a friend or a family member, that somebody you brought, will you just kind of just raise your hand? You don't have to, we're not going to make you stand up and introduce yourself, I promise. They're like, yeah. Okay, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Happy. Yeah. So again, today is our Friendship Sunday, and it's our homecoming potluck. And I tell you, we've got some great cooks in our community. And so there is a feast being laid out on tables in the education building. There's a youth book sale. There's a silent auction. There's a bookstore sidewalk sale. There are cornhole and badminton. It's going to be awesome. So come on over. Okay, really, come on over after, right across the way. Okay, well, Earl and Lena were sitting side by side on the pew listening to the pastor go on and on and on with his sermon. And so Lena looked over and noticed that Earl's eyes were closed, and she elbowed him in the ribs. "Wake up, Earl. What are you doing going to sleep during the sermon?" "I was not asleep. I was considering the great hereafter," whispered Earl. "He's not talking about heaven," said Lena. "I know he's not," said Earl. "I was thinking about the coffee and donuts we'll have hereafter." And more. All right. So this is our fourth week and final week. Of course, we're always about prosperity here at Unity of Gaithersburg because we are a prosperous community. But over the last 4 weeks, we've been experiencing a prosperity summit, a rising consciousness around the whole idea of what it means to be prosperous and really claim life's infinite abundance. And so week one, what we did an actual releasing ritual where we came up and we released the beliefs that no longer serve us so that we could make way for claiming and allowing the infinite abundance that is. And then we talked about the joy of giving. What's the big deal about giving? And we talked about the distinction between inner-centered giving and outer-centered giving, where when we give from that inner place, we give from the awareness and claiming of infinite abundance, knowing all that is. And when we give from the outer, sometimes we can feel depleted. So we talked about the joys and the value of just giving from our inner knowing. And then last week, Edie talked about the art of allowing, really peeling the layer of our consciousness and allowing ourselves to claim our good, to release those beliefs that no longer serve us. And so today, I think you get the theme. We're going to talk about gratitude. Because, you know, folks, I don't think I know of a greater mood changer than gratitude. And I don't know about y'all, but especially over the last week, I've needed a little mood boost. Yeah. And so gratitude is something that brings me to the right now, where the fullness of life is experienced, and has me focus on what's working in my life. And that's a good thing. Yeah, it shines the light on the good versus the drama of the negative. And we got a little bit of that going on right now in the outer world. Dynamic speaker is one of my favorites, Alan Cohen. Talks about the attitude of gratitude, that it brings altitude. And what that means is that it uplifts us and it raises us to a new level of seeing in our life. So gratitude, the practice of gratitude, what does it really do? Well, it's been proven to enhance our physical, mental, and emotional health. It actually increases our immunity. It unlocks happiness. It raises our prosperity consciousness because it magnifies the abundance in the world versus lack. It strengthens our relationships. You can see that, right? Yeah. When you are affirming your partner, how they stand up taller, they smile, they're open, they're available to you. It enhances self-acceptance, heightens our attention. It's truly a superpower. The tricky part is, and I know this, and I've done talks about this over the last 10 years, in pulpit ministry, 10 years. It's my 10th year. You think I'd get it by now. It's easy to be grateful when things are flowing. It's easy to be grateful when we're feeling connected and we've got what we want in our bank account and just life is flowing. But it's not as easy when the external world is churned up like we've seen, when things are not working, when we kind of looking at what's missing, lacking, especially when we felt hurt, when we're stressed and worried. And then this whole idea of gratitude and how it shifts our prosperity consciousness, because what can happen is that we can kind of get stuck in, I wish for something and I want something. And then we get what we want, we get that high-paying job, we get that perfect relationship, but it just doesn't seem after a while to fill our cup. We end up feeling dissatisfied again. So, because we're still kind of stuck in that belief of not enough. So what is ours to do? And really, I think it's about developing a habit of gratitude. Because I know it sounds a bit simplistic, but folks, it's really not. Because it's a transformative practice. It absolutely shifts our view. It widens our view. It shifts our perspective. And it opens our heart to knowing what's true in the midst of troubling times. And I really just felt like I needed to address kind of the elephant in the room of what happened this week downtown. I think this has been an interesting week for many of us. For many of us, it's been a hurtful week. And so, interestingly, what came across my awareness is a scripture from Hebrews that I wanted to share with you this morning. It's Hebrews chapter 12 that said, "Therefore, let us be grateful for a kingdom that cannot be shaken." Okay, I'm going to say that again. Therefore, let us be grateful for a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Because, folks, we got to know this right now. And we teach in Unity that there's a big R reality. Like the little R reality is, rocks are hard, water's wet, here's the chairs, here's this, here's that external world. And then underneath all of this, and in imbuing all of it, there's a big R reality. And that's the kingdom. And that's the kingdom that Jesus talked about as the kingdom of God. That no matter what is happening out here, it's unshakable. It's unshakable. And guess what? We are made of that kingdom. We are the stuff of that kingdom. We are divine and holy and magnificent and beautiful. We have great hearts full of love. And so what I invite us to do in the midst of all that's happening in our world is to remember that there is a kingdom that is absolutely unshakable, unchanging, that through our claiming and our awareness, we can hold to the best of our ability, moment to moment to moment, through the practice of gratitude. So what I love about gratitude is it just opens our eyes to see what's around us. And my friend Amy's here, and her daughter is my goddaughter. And she's 3, and I haven't seen her in a while, but I just got a video of her on a tricycle. On a bicycle without pedals. And it was so great because she's in awe and wonder of every single experience that she's learning. Don't children just model that for us? It's so beautiful. And that's one of the things that gratitude does for us as an adult. It reminds us of what is awe-inspiring, what's wonderful, and what's beautiful. And I have an author that I love because he's hilarious. His name is Robert Fulghum. He's an ordained Unitarian minister. He had a show on PBS for a while. He was nominated for a Grammy. and he just writes in just a great way. And I came across this book, which is It Was on Fire When I Lay Down on It, which kind of gives you a sense of who he is. And he was known, I think he's best known, for his book, All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. You remember that? And so I wanted to read you just some excerpts of something that he wrote about gratitude, about how to see it in everyday life and how he sees it in everyday life. In the beginning of books and at the end of movies, there appear the credits, list of those to whom recognition and appreciation are due, without whom the book or movie was not possible. In that spirit, as the summer ends, I write my own credits. These people, and some bugs and dogs, made life sing for me with unknowing gifts. Thanks to the large man in the red dump truck for the mercy of not blowing his air horn at me while I sat daydreaming through a green light. Thanks to the grandma in the faded blue bathing suit, sitting in the children's wading pool with her grandchildren, in the park on the hottest day of the summer, taking on all comers in a splashing contest, for reminding me of what real beauty is and that childhood can be forever. Thanks to the small boy in the grocery store who grabbed me from behind around my knees and hugged me and called me daddy, and who hugged me once more, even when he saw I wasn't his daddy, for handing out free samples of small joy. Thanks to whoever planted marigolds in the parking strip on 15th Avenue. Not content with making a small piece of no man's land beautiful, you added the sign that said flowers. Have some. Thanks to the older gentleman playing the harmonica in front of the drugstore downtown, who, when asked where to put money, said he didn't do it for the money, but for the company, and wore a T-shirt that said, "Over the hill and on a roll," for making me look forward to getting older. Thanks to the mailman in my old neighborhood who still remembers my name longer after I moved away, for delivering friendliness first and the mail second. Thanks to the spiders of August who kept me working slowly and alert and aware through my garden, morning and evening, for making me see their work and think about my own. Thanks to the old mongrel dog that came and sat quietly beside me one morning by the lake, for selecting me to receive his silent, undemanding company. I was honored that he would sit by me. Thanks to the janitor who sings in the halls of the building where I work for putting "keep on the sunny side" in my mind at day's end. And there's more. The gifts of the summer and life were abundant, and there is more news of the world than is reported in the daily paper. And the news is good. The gifts are free. So I'd like for us just to end this time together. I have a video that means a lot to me. It's by David Stendal Rast, who is a Benedictine monk. And he just invites us to have a grateful day.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you. Today. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now. And the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. that incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. All that life from generations and from so many places all over the world flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. Turn a faucet and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. A gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you. That everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
So this week, let's try this on. Let's just set an intention to open our eyes and our hearts to what it is we're grateful for, consciously. And there's a little trick that I learned a long time ago. It's called gratitude signs. And what it is just something in your life. Pick something in your life, like a cell phone ringing, a red light, a traffic jam, or an obvious note that you post on your refrigerator or your bathroom mirror that just simply remind you to pause, to breathe, and be grateful. And what about a practice of, before you go to bed at night, pick 5 things you're grateful for. And if you're sleeping with someone, maybe share that with each other before you go to sleep. Let's do this, folks. Let's bless our lives with the superpower of gratitude, because as it blesses us, it blesses others. So let's affirm together. I have a grateful heart of gratitude for the abundant blessings in my life. My good continues to flow forth to bless me and others. And so it is.